Governor Greg Abbott just wrapped up a meeting in the Oval Office. What is he offering to President Donald Trump?
Also a separate issue for the governor here at home involving your money and maybe your children. Talking about school choice vouchers. They are being debated as we speak at the Texas Capitol.
We said it was busy. Our Jack Fink has been watching both those stories. Jack, you've been in the newsroom all day tracking the very latest for folks just getting home and settled. What is going on?
Hey there, Nicole and Doug. Governor Greg Abbott is telling reporters that he offered President Trump a number of facilities for the federal government to use as part of its crackdown at the southern border. Their meeting earlier this afternoon in the Oval Office was closed to the White House press corps. Governor Abbott just spoke with reporters outside the White House in the past hour, and he said that the state of Texas has completed 50 miles of border wall and that another 20 miles of wall will be completed in the coming days. The state has also acquired more than 100 miles of easement. The governor said he let the president know that this is available to the United States. Earlier this week, the governor signed an agreement with the Trump administration that for the first time grants the 5,000 members of the Texas National Guard at the southern border the authority to arrest migrants. Abbott told me earlier this week he accepted that offer immediately because it would help secure the border even more. The state of Texas has also offered other facilities to the Trump administration.
Texas built 2 military bases that can house 2,000 soldiers in one base, 400 soldiers in another base. I made sure the president knew that was available to him. I let the president know that we have identified 4,000 jail cells in the state of Texas that can be used as detention facilities.
No word if the Trump administration will accept the governor's offers just yet. Governor Abbott said he will be returning to Washington next week to make his case with members of Congress to reimburse the Texas government for the $11 billion the state has spent for its efforts to secure the border. The governor told me the president supports his request, as do Republicans in the Texas congressional delegation and other key Republicans in the House. Doug and Nicole?
Quick question. The other subject we want to talk about, you're watching the Texas Senate this afternoon. They're debating, as we mentioned, the school choice bill right now, which, for those who don't know out there, provides money to students so they can make the choice. Do I want to maybe go to a private school and use that money from the state? So where do we stand with that right now, tonight?
Well, Doug, right now the debate over the bill is more than 4 hours old, and it is still going. Lawmakers are considering amendments to Senate Bill 2 right now. The Senate bill would cost $1 billion, and as of now, it would pay for about 35,000 students across Texas to attend private school. Under this proposal, students would receive at least $2,000. Now, if they enroll at an accredited private school, they will get $10,000 a year, and students with disabilities will get more. They'll receive $11,500 each year. Republicans say the students will be given preference, those with disabilities and those from low-income families, but that it would be open to all students. Democratic State Senator Royce West of Dallas expressed concern, though, that students in low-performing public schools wouldn't be given a preference.
And I've consistently heard you say in the past that we want to make certain that we take care of the kids in the disadvantaged schools first. This doesn't do that. This puts them into a group with everybody else, and if it's your luck of the draw, you may be able to get a scholarship. But if it's not, then you don't get a scholarship.
We'll cover all walks of life, all income vulnerable students and students with disabilities in many different categories, but they may not be in a school that's rated D. They just may themselves personally not be thriving in that school, or there may be a safety concern, a fentanyl concern, a bullying concern.
No word how long this debate is going to be going on, but it is widely expected to pass and go along party lines, with 20 Republicans likely voting yes and 11 Democrats likely voting no. From the Senate, the bill will go over to the House, and the leading Republican in the House on education matters told me he's going to be filing a House bill on school choice. Governor Abbott told me Monday he's very confident this will pass in the House this year.